Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the St. Louis Browns. We are rapidly approaching the end of our time with the Browns. Um, I believe we have 2 seasons left, if my math is correct, which it probably isn't. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holy shit, I was right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I got 2 seasons left to try to win the World Series. And I gotta be real with you, I don't love our chances, but it's possible. It's absolutely possible. The problem has been that although we've gotten significantly better, so has the rest of the league. And even though we've actually had some pretty solid records the last few seasons, that's 2 consecutive seasons where we've been over 500, and at least 10 games over 500 every year. We haven't been able to win a pennant because, yeah, we just weren't close enough. So, let's hope whether we can make that change. Holy shit, our fucking attendance doubled last year. That's wild. That is fucking wild. So yes, definitely gonna be a challenge. But I'm not making any promises. We're definitely gonna try. All our coaches are set. Staff roles look amazing. Player development, let's fucking go. Lou Burdette, work on your control, please. You might be in the majors sooner rather than later. Carl, my boy, work on your plate discipline. Ball player friends, increase your velocity. Let's get spoopy. Steve Bilko, let's go for quality of contact. And then what about the Major League roster? I hear you asking. I'm glad you asked. Um. Mm, that's not true. Vic Wertz, work on quality of contact, please. That's going to be amazing if you can pull it off. And then Ralph Branca, how about a casual improving of your control? This seems like a good use of our slots. We can check free agency. I doubt there's going to be anybody all that interesting, but there could be somebody interesting. There could be Tommy Byrne. Um, hmm. Look at that shitty control. I could make him do a reliever. I can fix him. No, I probably can't fix him. Being real with you. I did not even remember that we got Ed Lopat last season. That's just how my brain works sometimes. Um, Lopat, Trout, Pollitt, and Bronca are a pretty good start. If Lou Burdette can improve a little bit, he's our fifth starter. But I wouldn't mind having another pitcher, especially one that might end up being an elite reliever. So I think Tommy Byrne is a pretty good call. I'll offer you one of the contracts of all time. Let's fucking go. Yeah. It's advanced time. I doubt very much that Johnny Pesky is going to win the MVP, but it would be funny if he did. It would be highly comical, but also deeply, deeply unlikely. A gold glove for Buddy Rozar and Whitey Lockman. Nice. Isn't Lockman's second gold glove? Oh, it's his third. What a fucking absolute unit. Look at this. 3 consecutive years, 3 different outfield positions. He's my special boy. Buddy Rozar has just finally started winning gold gloves. 3 in a row. Buddy Rosar is the kind of player that if he has another 5 years that's roughly this level, he's gonna get some light attention for the Hall of Fame. I don't think he deserves it, but I could see it happening. He could be the kind of a guy like one of the other Browns makes it in by like a lot, and then he just like lobbies the other people like vote for my lad here. He's a real winner. He's one of the baseball players of all time. I think that would be funny, which is what happened in real life. But I don't think it's gonna happen in this game. I don't think the players have that kind of thing here. Johnny Pesky and Hank Sauer both casually won Silver Sluggers. Damn, I feel real stupid. And Ed Lopat. Oh, that's less impressive. I feel real fucking stupid that for so long we just didn't let Hank Sowers even have a chance. And he fucking walks in here with a 42 home runs in his first full season with us. And we're like, yeah, that could have been us the whole fucking time. I suck sometimes, guys. I'm just gonna be real with you. Sometimes I'm the worst. Poor Hank Sauer. He's like, bitch, you should have fucking started me like 10 years ago. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Don't murder me or eat my children. Man, poor Max Bishop is totally fucked. He's not gonna make the Hall of Fame. Tommy Bridges, Joe Cronin seems like a pretty fair bet. Tony Lazzeri. I don't know what it's gonna take for Tony Lazzeri to finally make the fucking Hall of Fame. It seems like every year he gets closer and closer. Oh damn, Mel Ott was really good in this timeline, just like real life Mel Ott. But he did play for the he played for the Yankees, not the Giants. Interesting. Mel Ott is one of the players that took the most advantage of his home park because he played in the Baker Bowl, which was the Philadelphia A's. No, he played the Polo Grounds for the New York Giants. Who's the one who played in the Baker Bowl and got ridiculous numbers? Maybe it was Jimmy Fox, but it didn't fucking matter because still Jimmy goddamn Fox. But, you know, who's to say? I'll vote for red roughing. I have no problem with that. I'll vote for John Young, although I feel a little grosser about that one, and I'll vote for Bill Terry. I have a feeling Mel Ott's gonna make it, and probably Joe Cronin, and then beyond that, I don't know. We'll find out later on. Who's? I swear to God. I'm gonna do a quick Google search here. Uh, Baker Bowl home runs. Because there's a very specific player that had, because of the way the bowl was built, like it was comically easy to hit home runs if you were a guy. Yeah, it's called a bandbox because the right field wall is only 280 foot from home plate. I think it was Jimmy Fox. I think Jimmy Fox is the guy they were talking. Maybe it wasn't Jimmy Fox. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, please let me know. Um, please let me know. I can throw a pity vote to Van Mungo. I see no reason why I can't. Done. All right. Um, because I remember I was reading a list of players who got the most home runs at home versus the road, and Mel Ott had a pretty big split, and I thought Jimmy Fox did too, but maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Either way, the important point is certain stadiums are really, really small, and it gives their players an advantage when hitting home runs. If you haven't seen Deadpool versus or Deadpool and Wolverine yet, Really good movie. We enjoyed it a lot. Very fun. Very silly. I got excited when I saw the name Frank Thomas. Like, no, it's not that Frank Thomas. It's merely a Frank Thomas. Oh, when the fuck is Willie Mays showing up? What is Willie Mays Hayes showing up? Oh, he's already been drafted. Oh no. Oh no. I could have had Willie Mays and I fucking missed it. Oh, no. Wow, he's terrible at center field though. Clearly not the real Willie Mays, merely a Willie Mays. That is a bummer. And he could have no, he wouldn't have been mine. I looked for players of a high caliber pretty frequently and I didn't see him, so I wasn't sure if he'd get drafted or if he'd come up through the Negro Leagues, but clearly the Negro Leagues was how it was gonna happen. Damn. I mean I can't be too upset. Can I still acquire him? No, the Milwaukee Brewers, I think, for somebody's farm team. Sag. Whose farm team is it? Wait, what? Okay, who's your parent team, game? The Boston Braves. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Alright. Whatever. So there's one above average player in the entire. There's one blue chip prospect in the draft, and then a whole bunch of like mid tier pitchers. What do I want? Is there a particular position that I feel we could really upgrade at? I mean, did Hank Sauer actually play most of his games, or did he play some in right field? This past year, if you look at fielding stats, he did play a handful more games at first base. So I either did a first baseman or a right fielder. I don't know which yet. It could just be that Vic Wertz gets his chance again. I'd also feel better if we had a more reliable shortstop, maybe. Although Dick Color was pretty solid. I think we'll probably end up taking a pitcher though, because that's just what's going to be around by the time I get to draft. Yeah, I could get Johnny Antonelli to strengthen up our bullpen. That's actually pretty attractive to me. I do need better pitchers in the bullpen. Jim Lemon would be a pretty decent choice too. The thing is, and I know this is a little bit, it's slightly cheating, but not really. The thing is that I know that I'm not going to be here. And by the time that Jim Lemon here is at full power. So let's go take Johnny Antonelli. Let's strengthen up the bullpen. I could take Perky Bob here. He's a pretty good rubber arm dude. And you never know when you might need that. They're probably like, please don't call him Perky Bob. And I'm like, fuck you. I'll call him whatever I want to call him. Del Crandall is a decent catcher. And I think I could use another decent catcher in my system, so we will be drafting him for the low price of $250. I'll take Lefty Bell because why not? And then I'm just gonna let you do your thing, Ricardo Torres. Draft whomever you'd like for the next 95 rounds. Genuinely speaking, some decent upgrades to our bullpen might be enough to take us over the hump. Did what's his face ever fucking sign with me? No. What the fuck, bro? Come on, Tommy. Oh, you're still thinking about it. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Tommy, I'd like you to become a catcher, please. You're just much more useful to me as a catcher. Although I don't mind you being a two-way player, that's fine. I do think we do need a little bit more catching stuff. I do have another idea. What if I gave you a major league contract? Because you're gonna make the majors for me. I'm gonna turn you into a reliever, and you're gonna be amazing at it. That's my plan. Is there anybody Rule 5 eligible they need to be concerned about? Bob Usher a little bit. Eh. Bob Usher's not that impressive, if I'm being honest with you. He's just kind of a dude. Please sort by default. I could get Spider Jorgensen back. That is a choice I could make. Marv Rackley's an interesting sort. Very colorful. The Rifleman, Chuck Connors. That is who that is, by the way. Um, if you've ever seen the old Western, The Rifleman, this is that Chuck Connors. I don't remember his major league career being particularly impressive, but yeah, he basically never got out of the minors. Poor Spider Jorgensen has been selected by somebody that won't ever appreciate him the way that I would. Alfonso Braithwaite isn't terrible. He's not an amazing player, but I think he's reasonable. He gives us a better outfielder, and I think he is worth taking. So Alonso, come on down. Jerry Coleman kind of sucks. He kind of really sucks. There's just nothing else here to get excited about. I'm gonna go ahead and opt out of the rest of this Rule 5 draft. Man, Spider Jorgensen and Chuck Connors both went before I even got to draft. I would have low key thought about taking Sam Denty had he been around. He was not. He'd be like that sometimes. Did Johnny Pesky even get third place in the voting? I have one curious. Speaking of things I could recommend while we wait for the game to churn, I bought a Steam game recently called The Operator, which is about being like a telephone operator for the FBI and doing like computer shit for them. It's really fun. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. It's definitely a story game, so I would never show it on the channel, I don't think. But it is pretty enjoyable. A nice mix of tension and crime solving is always appreciated. I didn't check to see how y'all enjoyed Root. So I probably need to make that decision here. Oh, both Melot and Bill Terry finally made it. But Tony Lazzari actually slipped by about 10%. 5%, whatever. Um, but yeah, if y'all really enjoyed Root, let me know. Um, I like to show off a couple of the. I'd like to show off all the starting factions, but not if people don't care about the game. Right. I never negotiate with the rest of my draftees. Richie Myers would like $1,500. He is a reasonably cromulent defender, so we can offer him his 1,500. I'm okay with that. You're not a very good hitter, but you've got positional flexibility, which is pretty useful. Van Morgan, not so much for you. Because you're a first baseman, I want you to be able to hit better, and you are not currently hitting all that well, so. Get good, fucker. What was I gonna do? Check on Johnny Pesky's voting record. How close were you to the MVP? Not close at all. You finished in second place not that long ago, but if you look at league news, I should be able to find out precisely where you were elected. You finished fourth, which is honestly pretty respectable. Especially in light of guys like George Kell and Yogi Berra, both playing for the Red Sox. Finished better than Ted Williams. Suck it, Ted. Hank Sauer, Dizzy Trout, and Whitey Lockman getting some down ballot votes. Nice. Stan Spence, a single person, maybe two, voted for him. I think for the most part, OOTP does a really good job with the in-season awards, which is or the end season end awards, which is why I don't ever vote for them. But fucking real major leagues, man, they make some pretty stupid decisions sometimes. Some real stupid decisions. Cough, cough. Move on over Robert Bell. Cough, cough. 1995. Cough, cough. Um, I wasn't really that wide open. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that offered you anything. God damn, I have a lot of minor league teams. Holy shit. Okay, check this out. Tommy Byrne, mediocre infield or mediocre starter. Tommy Byrne, somewhat better reliever. Okay, maybe it wasn't worth the money, but we had to try. Where the fuck did Lou Burdett go? You sent him to Double A for no reason. Interesting. I find your decision curious. Very curious indeed. Okay. Biggest home run split. Yeah, there's good old Melot. Um, hmm. No, that's the team level. I'll never find it again. It's fine. Personal message. I have $1.6 million. I love it. That is an adequate amount of money, but what if I spent even more on player development? How does that grab you? I literally have nothing else to spend my money on, which is the tragedy. Remember that one time where like money got super tight and then it just stopped being an issue again? I remember that. I mean, to be fair, I basically made St. Louis Browns a viable franchise single-handedly. Do I have the same success I did with the Braves or the Red Sox? No, because I didn't have the Negro leagues and the independent minor leagues as a source of ready, what you call it, ready stuff. Where's Jackie Robinson hanging out these days? If Willie Mays is Negro League eligible, Jackie Robinson should be too. Presumably. A few people who got better. You'd love to see it. Could you stop shipping Johnny Pesky to random positions just for the fun of it? That'd be very nice of you. And Lou Burdett got worse. That makes me sad. I award myself one sad for that nonsense. He is playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers. You know what? I can't even be mad about that. I can't even be mad about that. Hey, you know what? I'm not even mad about this. This is something that the EA used to fuck up. So I'm actually really excited to see that they're actually doing the smart thing and signing these incredible players. Um, for Hank Aaron. He might not be in the game yet, but I know he's another one that came up through the Negro Leagues right around this time. Yeah. It just feels right that Jack Robinson on the Brooklyn Dodgers. I can't even be mad about that. But I can be mad. I am permitted to be mad, but it is not a requirement. Damn. I am disappointed. I probably should have increased the budget much earlier than I did. I might have had a decent impact. Oh well. Burdett and Antonelli both go right to the majors. Harry Simpson can go to the majors. Lefty Bell can go to the majors. Phil Haugstad can go to the majors. That seems reasonable. I'm not gonna fuck with anybody else right now. Nobody else is worthy of my attention. And then go ahead and do your thing, game. Oh my god, I wish you'd stop putting Vern Stevens at third base. A shortstop. I mean, maybe he's not that bad. I need to give him another chance, but for right now, I am not super convinced he's a great shortstop, but whatever, man. Gino. Johnny Pesky at third base actually does make some sense, though. I'm actually fine with that one. All right, let's get after it. Let's baseball, gentlemen. But not too well. It's the spring training. Save your best baseballing for when the season starts. Casually, Sherry Robertson leading the league in stuff. Ted Wilkes missing the season is not ideal. It's not the end of the world. Herb Dusack is casually starting to pitch now. I guess. I mean, his control is so fucking awful. He's just gonna like throw every. He's gonna be like fucking Rick Vaughn and Major League, just a bit outside. Somebody on Reddit or Twitter or something was saying we should remake Major League. Man, I don't think so. I think Major League is perfect for the time and when it came out. It's also just a tiny bit cringy. I don't know how well it would work today, but I genuinely do think it is a high quality movie. And if you haven't seen it and you enjoy baseball, even if you're not a fan of Cleveland, if you're like I don't give two shits about Cleveland, it's still a really funny movie, um, and it's worth your watch. I mean, it's not the best baseball comedy, but then it's really hard to compare with Bull Durham or A League of Their Own in terms of quality baseball comedies. I do think Major League is funnier, but I also think it doesn't have. I don't know. I just think it's one of those things where it just depends on your particular perspective on it. Sports movies used to be such a big part of my childhood, and then they just kind of stopped making them. Like I saw Moneyball, and I enjoyed Moneyball. I thought Moneyball was reasonably good. Um, I don't think it's as good as the book, but then that's usually the case, right? The Cementers. What a name. The Duncan Cementers. That is such a minor league baseball name. I love it. Let's start sending down the losers. Anybody whose overall is orange is going to the minors. Maybe not Lou Burdett. Settle down now. But Max Manning, yes. I'll designate you for assignment. Your assignment, the eighth circle of hell. Zam. Remember when Clad Passo used to be a really good reliever? A really good starter, rather? Pepper Drum remembers, but I also think we had to cut Claude Passo. You know what? He had himself quite a career as a St. Louis Brown. And if he was a little bit more willing to stick around, then I wouldn't have to cut him, but I do have to cut him. Where am I at? 16 pitchers. Way too many pitchers. Let's get rid of at least 3 more of them. Herb Dusak 100% goes to the minor leagues. I am not letting anybody with that live an arm near the majors. Glenn Elliott can go to the minors. I think Lou Burdett goes to the minors, and so does Glenn Elliott. 13 pitchers is still excessive. I'll send out one additional pitcher, which will be Jim Lamarck. I'm going to try to sneak you out. There we go, done. Alright. Let's blow it all up. It's very clearly Trout, then Pollitt, and then Bronca, then Rowe, then Lopat. Your best reliever is probably. I think Tommy Byrne is pretty solid, but I think Johnny Antonelli is a little bit more reliable. I think we're gonna set Johnny Antonelli up to be our stopper. Add him to the 40-man, please. Then I think we do Tommy Byrne and Ken Chase as our setup guys, because Ken Chase was our setup guy, our stopper last year, and wasn't that impressive. Um, seventh or later. Nels Potter is, I think, another really valuable arm. He's going to be a middle reliever, gets used more often. And then you're going to be our specialist that occasionally does some starting, and then the two of you are going to be emergency starters. And you can be middle relievers. Sorry. John Leverage is emergency starter. I agree with. Dizzy Trout is losing his stamina. This is something we're going to have to pay attention to. Because this stamina slips too far, we might be better suited turning him into a reliever as well. All right, let's get the lineup set. 3 catchers is 3 too many. Hank Roshkowski is a terrible fucking catcher. Truly awful. So he's going to go to the minors. Deering goes to the minors. I like Cliff Mapes. I think he's a decent player to have up with the major league team this year. Clyde McNeil is so far away from the major leagues, it's laughable. It is maximum comedy, even thinking about something like that. I kind of feel like Dick Seaver's time has come and gone. What could I get for trading him? I just don't think he offers too much more to our success as a baseball franchise. Mikey McCormick. Tom Cooper is no joke, actually a decent player. He's not amazing, but he is decent. And I think that offers some flexibility. Because everyone else is a slap hitting outfielder or first baseman. And I don't need those. Let's get Tom Cooper. And then Mr. Cooper here will go to the minor leagues. Oh, he already is in the minor leagues. Neat. Okay. Tom Cooper. Let us now. Actually, is Clyde Klutz better than him? Not even a little bit. Clyde will take a demotion. Amazing. Tom Cooper, you're in. Welcome to the major leagues, my friend. Doesn't solve my issue, which is that I need a quality. I guess I don't need to make any trades. Interesting. Okay. Fine. I'm gonna leave the lineups like they are. Like, I don't see any real point of moving them around a bit. I'm still deeply concerned about Vern Stevens being a decent shortstop, but I'm willing to give him a chance. We'll see. Right. Let us set up some depth charts here. Tom Cooper. It's fucking Tom Cooper, right? That was awful. Don't listen to me. I don't know why I randomly decided that he's from Australia and that I decided to subject you to my terrible Australian accent. If you are Australian, you decide to just quit my channel forever, I don't blame you. I think you're probably making the right decision. Be like, you know what, Avgardian? Fuck that guy. He made fun of my home country. I respect your. I respect you. I respect your principles. I mean, could we make the playoffs this season? Absolutely. Anything is possible. But I think something has to go very, very wrong for one of our opponents in order for us to succeed. I think that's the difference between a really good Browns franchise and the kind of Browns franchise that can sneak into the postseason again. I think we're just starting too far behind the eight ball. I think, yeah, the World War II years are a really tough time to run a baseball team. Just because so little high quality talent entered the league. Man, Willie fucking Mays is so good. I could have had him, I wasn't paying attention. That's on me. Do I have anybody that isn't trash tier? I have a feeling my best guy's not even in the top 20. I was right. He's top 28. Excuse me. Steve Bilko actually has a reasonable chance of cracking the Major League lineup this year, especially if Hank Sauer gets hurt. So that's something to look forward to. That is something to very much look forward to. We shall see. Every time somebody calls Ty Cobb racist, somebody else is like, "Yeah, but when you compare him to the other people in his at his time, he wasn't as racist as some of them." And I'm like, "That's not the flex you think it is." Like literally, like, the big piece of revisionist history is maybe he didn't choke that one groundskeeper. Guys from the fucking Ku Klux Klan electric speaker. So shut the fuck up about your Ty Cobb love. I mean, you want to say he's an amazing baseball player? Agreed, 1,000%. I wasn't able to separate the art from the artist. I can separate the shitty politics from the athlete, but let's not pretend that Ty Cobb is like a great humanitarian. Just because he didn't, I don't know, actively beat the shit out of everyone that was black on the team. Sergeant Bilko. I think we're just going to be running into the same fucking teams again that we did last year. Um, we've got to get lucky. Something really wild has to happen. Like somebody's seriously getting hurt. Like Ted Williams getting hurt or Blue Boudreaux getting hurt or something. Because I just don't have way to easily add top tier talent because it's just not going to be traded to me. Um, Other than the fucking Yankees just brothel stomp me, which is kind of mean, if you ask me. The only name I'm seeing anywhere near the offensive leaderboards right now is Vernon Stevens, which is both reassuring but also a little bit disappointing. And it may account for our somewhat slow start this year. I say that it's we're like 6 games over 500, but still. I have many memories of Bob Wickman, most of them nerve wracking. I remember Bob Wickman had the derpiest fucking facial expressions on the mound when he was trying to pitch. Like, I know he's trying to look intense, so he just had to take a shit. Um, yeah. Decent player, actually an above average player, but certainly not Anybody you wanted up at the plate when you desperately needed an out. It's very challenging to watch him and maintain your blood pressure. Alright, we have not very much time yet. How are we doing here? The top lineup is holding up their end of the bargain. Even Vic Wertz isn't bad. It's really been Buddy Rosar in particular that's really struggled. And Dick Culler. How's Johnny Pesky taking to playing third base? He's been okay. Oh, Vern Stevens. Vern has actually been a positive shortstop this year, so I am pretty happy about that. Hank Sauer feels like he's holding back a little bit. I feel like there's another gear for him in particular. Let's go ahead and put Vic Wertz and hit him sixth. I think he has earned that from us. And then we can just keep going for right now. Buddy Rosar is too good with the pitching staff to be totally benched, but I am somewhat concerned about him. Johnny Antonelli has not been mind-numbingly great. He hasn't been bad, but his ability to allow home runs vexes me. I'm terribly vexed. I mean, Tommy Byrne just walks everybody, so clearly he was a bit of a mistake. I'm gonna give him a little more time. I'm gonna give him another month to show that he can handle the job, but he is on the thinnest of ice. Um, mm, what we need to do this year is we need to start beating up on the good teams. Like, it's not just sucker punching the Senators and the White Sox over and over again. I need to start beating the teams ahead of me in the standings. That's what I could not do at all last season, if you recall. The A's and the Tigers pretty much had my number all season long. I don't care. Plus, the infection was why you walked everybody that you faced. Yeah. I mean, the Yankees pushing our shit in here doesn't help either. Vic, you dumb fucker. Don't get suspended. I don't like that. The AL is fucking stacked this year. Like really stacked. Come on, quit fucking losing, guys. Just, what if you thought about losing and then didn't do that? How does that work for you all? It works for me. I'm part of the problem, right, is just the A's have these two amazing players in Boudreaux and Ted Williams, and I can't really compete with that. I don't really have any. I don't have a player either play the caliber of them. Some of them are very, very good. Don't get me wrong. Some of them are actually fairly high quality, but but maybe not good enough. Steve Bilko is rapidly proving that he might be a useful player to have. Same with Carl Sawatsky. All right. So we're doing okay. We are doing acceptably well. Nobody is painfully obvious that they should be removed from the team. Nobody is playing. Okay, Whitey Lockman's playing at an MVP level. Whitey Lockman's having an amazing season, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Johnny Pesky keeps being well pesky. He is a good sausage. Vern Stevens has taken a shortstop like a duck to water and is having a bit of a career year. The question is, do we give Sergeant Bilko a chance in the major leagues? And I think the answer to that question is a maybe not emphatic, but a cautious yes. I think at least having. I mean, the other person we could call up is Carl Sawatsky. Dick Color is nothing special at this point. Um, I don't know what to do about Hank Sauer because the only thing he's stopped doing this year is hitting for power, and that deeply concerns me because that's kind of his only skill is his ability to hit for power. Um, he ain't drawing walks. I mean, I guess he is drawing walks. Like, I know his batting average isn't as good as it was last year, but his slugging percentage is down by 120 points. So I guess my question is this a genuine power outage? Or is this something we just have to try to endure? I do think that benching Stan Rojak. No, we get rid of Dick Color. Yeah, I think Dick Color is the guy to go. I think we got couple of decent seasons from him, but I think he is well past his prime. And I think Carl Sawatsky gets called up, and I think Stan Rojak is the guy who takes over at second base. Or we could just try Carl Sawatsky at second base. He's got a pretty decent skill set for second base. I mean, we could just try it and see if he can handle it. If he can handle shortstop, sure, second base shouldn't be that difficult. Let's give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? Him playing position he's never played in the major leagues for even a single second. But it's easier than shortstop, so I'm hoping he can pick it up pretty quickly. What are we doing now? How are we? We're having him play every 3 games. If that's the way you feel, I'm fine with that. If we just want to ease him into the role, but I do think Mr. Sawatsky's back could be quite beneficial. And I do think if Sauer struggles by the trade deadline, we're going to replace him too. Watch Carl Sawatsky makes 12 errors in his first game. Ted Wilkes is arguably the best reliever I've got on my team. He has to be on the major league roster. So, hey, Tommy Byrne, Mr. I Can't Stop Walking People, how about you go to the minors and figure it out? And then we can have Ted Wilkes take over as the closer, question mark? No, as a setup guy, I think. I think that's his best role. Okay, how is Mr. Sawatsky doing? Is he picking up second base? He is not picking it up at all, but he also hasn't actually taken the field yet, so maybe settle down, Avi. Okay, I will. I'll be cool. Ouch. I think the AL is too good. I think it's too hard to get ahead of some of these guys ahead of us without going on an extended run. which I don't think this team is capable of. They might be. I mean, I could be hugely impressed, but I wouldn't count on it. Dizzy Tron Preacher both made the All Star team. So did Whitey Lockman. So did Vern Stevens. That's it. 4 All Stars. That seems reasonable. I'm not upset about that. I guess I'm a little bit annoyed that Johnny Pesky couldn't make it as a third baseman, but I get it. It's because he doesn't hit home runs, which makes him less interesting. I mean, Carl Sawaski is quickly learning second base, so I am more than happy to see him do that. It's up to the trading deadline. Who's designated for not really a stick color? There you go. It's just really difficult for us to add a lot of talent. So, fuckhead, shut the hell up. Like, I don't even want to hear it from you. You've got a better slugging percentage than Hank Sauer. I guess that's true. What if we did that? We just did a cheeky swap there and see how that turns out for us. I feel like Johnny Pesky's value right now is being a little bit limited because he's not hitting like 350 or higher, and he kind of has to. I mean, we could also stop giving up like touchdowns. That would be great. We any fucking time now. There we go. I'm not saying we're completely out of it, but I don't like our chances. Nels Potter, what has been the first indication that I don't think you remember starting rotation? How about talk you haven't started all season? I get it. I get that people are a little bit grouchy because we're not like the very best team in the league, but how about you stop complaining instead and just fucking do your job so you can become amazing? I don't hate Danny Murtaugh, I just don't think he's helpful. I don't think he's useful to me. Sorry, mate. Good old Perky Bob. Perky Bob. Pat Mullen would be pretty great, theoretically, but Detroit will never trade him with me, so I probably have to ignore him. Yankees won't give up Johnny Sane. The New York Giants might give up Jeff Heath. They might be persuaded. Maybe. Add in the Riz of Phil Rizzuto. I'll never say that again, I'm sorry. I don't know where I'd put Jeff, or I don't know where I'd put Jeff Heath, is my question. I like these are decent players. Don't get me wrong. Like Johnny Sam would look very nice in my uniform, but you would never give him to me as somebody that is competing with me in the postseason. I need Cooper, but we're actually closer to making a deal than I thought we'd be. What if I offered you free of charge Harry Simpson and Lou Burdett? For Burdett and Kellner, I will make this trade. That is a significant upgrade to our rotation. And I think I feel pretty great about it. Um, but I did something super controversial and took Dizzy Trout out of the rotation and put Johnny Sane in. I feel like I've got to keep Trout too, maybe? No, Dizzy Trout is too good. I think Ralph Branca's the one to go to the bullpen over Dizzy Trout. Mr. Branca is, however, a highly accomplished reliever, more so than Johnny Antonelli. So let's turn you into a middle reliever and turn you into our stopper. Maybe having a big ass arm at the back end of my bullpen will help us achieve our goals, potentially. But it could take Ken Keltner and shift him over to first base. Like if I traded Keltner for Sauer, I think that would be pretty highly appreciated. What if I offered you the sourest of Hanks? I'm not giving you Pesky or him, but I would give you Sergeant Bilko. Yeah, they're not going to give up Keltner. I didn't think they would. If I traded Hank Sauer, what would that look like? Interesting. If I looked at first baseman, I mean, Pat Mullen is legitimately a pretty decent first base choice. If not for the fact that I am somewhat concerned about his ability to hit consistently. And of course, the fact he's actually kind of a shitty first baseman. Um, you know what? Let's try Pat Mullen. And let's just accept the fact he's a shitty first baseman, but let him play first base anyway. Like even if he is a borderline sentient block of cheese, I'm still willing to give him that opportunity to be our big thumper. Because I think we need one. Lord knows we need one. Robertson's playing far too frequently. He needs to be benched. Like, I know maybe Sawatsky isn't amazing, but he has to be better than Robertson. And he is developing slowly but surely. There you go. Is Pat Mullen enough to make the difference? Fuck if I know. But I also don't know what else I would want. I mean, maybe a dedicated second baseman could be nice, I suppose. Danny Murtaugh's not terribly thrilling. Not like Piper Davis. Whoa. Lonnie Frey. I think I've got all I'm gonna get from this deadline day. It's happening game. That was weird, just wouldn't let me click the button. I have two offers. Lonnie Frey fucking sucks. I declined that offer. Mel Parnell is really, really good. Like, really, really good. I'm gonna take that trade without even thinking about it because he is that good. Like, I know our rotation hardly was suffering before, but adding this takes Ed Lopat out of it. So what if I traded Ed Lopat for an infielder? Yeah, Genki's wanting me to take Danny Murtaugh. I mean, I guess it's better than Sawatsky at the moment, but I'd kind of like to just see Sawatsky grow into the role. If I'm not getting somebody that's really all that interesting. Have a look at all players. What do I got here? I mean, I don't need Barney Morris, that's for sure. I could just send Ed Lopat to the minors, right? He'd consider it. No, he wouldn't. I mean, obviously, I just sent Bob Chesney's to the minors. I mean, he can't refuse. And Mel Parnell is too damn good. And then you're going to be emergency starter, long relief. There we go. All right. A lot of names just changed teams. We're about to find out if it's going to pay off or not. I feel really good about the Mel Parnell trade. It's rare that you get better and younger at the same time. Um, I should have sold on Hank Sauer in the offseason in retrospect, but I didn't know he would shit the bed his second full season. And he's just going to be a very volatile player. Players who only played the three true outcomes, like, yes, home runs and walks and strikeouts are repeatable, but you have to hit a certain level of average to actually take advantage of that power and your capabilities, and I don't know that he can. So nice. I just need 12 home runs a game, Mullen. That's it. just a casual 12 home runs a game. I know you're going to be like, but I don't get 12 at bats a game. I don't care. Hit 2 home runs in every at bat. That's my expectation out of you. Don't disappoint me, or you'll regret it. We're going on a tiny little mini run here, which is pretty exciting stuff. Up, and then I get my shit kicked in by the Tigers. And the Guardians. And the Guardians again. I should have kept my mouth shut. I'm sorry, guys. I think what's really fascinating is exactly how tough this has been. Oh, that's bad. Of all the players to lose, and when we lose them, Johnny Pesky maybe wasn't having his very best year, but I also don't have a great replacement for him, uh, either in the lineup or in the on the field. I guess it has to be Dick Culler as the one and only player who can leave the joint embarrassing himself. So Bernstein's going to shift over to third base. It's going to make him sad, I know, but we need him there. Carl Sawatsky slides over to shortstop. Or he's actually already an accomplished player. And then Dick Culler gets to take over. Who takes over as the leadoff guy? It's obviously Whitey Lockman. But then the question becomes who hits second. And I think it is Stan Spencerino. No, it's Vic Wertz. I like Stan Spence hitting cleanup too much. Dick Cruller. Short. Third. Second. What about second breakfast? I said all the love in the world, but fuck you, game. You have significantly weakened our chances of making the postseason. I think. I mean, maybe Sawatsky slides over to shortstop, his natural position, and just starts fucking crushing it. But I think we're gonna miss Pesky's ability to be a leadoff guy as much as his ability to play the infield, because he was a phenomenal leadoff guy. You gotta base it on almost a 400 clip. That's really hard to replace. Really, really hard. I want you to find HGH. I know it might not even exist yet in 1948, but we're going to invent it. We're going to shove it right up the butts of each and every one of our players. If your head just gigantic, I don't even give a fuck. I'll get you bigger hats and bigger helmets. We'll invent the bobblehead early, but it'll actually be the entire player that's the bobblehead and not a doll. I have great ideas. Everyone should listen to them. Excuse me. I genuinely don't know who's going to win the pennant this year. It's that close. If we could put together a string of wins in a row, I think we could make a lot of noise. But like, we just keep getting ruffle stomped by the team ahead of us, which is what happened all last season. I wonder if some of the team's spark just went out when Johnny Pesky got hurt. Very possible. Very, very possible. Come on, let's win it for Pesky. Let's all baseball our minds out. Come on, lads. No, don't lose to the White Sox or the Guardians or anyone. Beat everybody. Gross. I think we're basically out of it at this point. I'm not saying a comeback is impossible, but I'm saying it is highly improbable at this point. Like, we're not scoring runs anymore. And I think a big part of that is not having Johnny Pesky to lead off. That was the worst possible injury at the worst possible time, which really sucks because we were a very competitive team this for most of the season, and then it's like our soul just died the moment that Johnny Pesky got injured, and now we just like quit on the season essentially. Maybe I need to fire somebody to show them that I'm serious. Nels, you have been a good starter in the past, but I just think you're more valuable in the bullpen. It's not, I don't mean it in a mean way, but I do need you to stop complaining because it's not going to accomplish anything. I mean, good for the Guardians. They fucking killed it this year, despite having not having any of the like the top tier players. It hasn't mattered. Everything that I wanted to happen, which was other teams slipping a bit, happened, but then I couldn't take advantage of it. Then again, the AL was tough as shit this year. I mean, as bad as the White Sox and Senators were, everybody else was competitive until the Guardians ran away with it. I can't even be that upset. I mean, the Guardians won the pennant and the World Series in the real life 1948, so. But I'm a bit sad. I have one sad right now. Man. I can't help but think if Johnny Pesky had been healthy, that we would have actually made a decent run at the pennant this year. But that injury timing was just so brutal. And really something we couldn't come back from. I didn't have a replacement for him in my system. Go Cleveland, I guess. P. Reese played on Cincinnati while Jackie Robinson plays on the Dodgers just feels weird. Feels very weird. Then again, I imagine if you're a fan of the St. Louis Cardinals, seeing Stan Musial in a Boston Braves uniform is probably a bit of a mind fuck. Like seeing two of Cleveland's best players, Larry Lou Boudreau and Larry Doby, and Philly and Boston uniforms respectively, is pretty zany. Is that my fucking Sid Gordon? Wait. The fucking guy who couldn't even hit replacement level hits 32 home runs for the fucking Philadelphia Athletics. Are you shitting me, game? Is shitting me happening right now? Am I being shat? Man. I can't win for fucking losing sometimes, I swear. Really, game? I don't know why I cannot get a first baseman in any of my series, it seems like. Like, a top quality first baseman is just beyond my capabilities. Which is so weird, because it should be the easiest position to fill in the major leagues. But yet, apart from like 1 or 2 year lucky stints, I get nobody. Goddamn fucking Sid Gordon. Have you tried just being awesome for me and not waiting until you leave St. Louis? Maybe you like just really wanted to play for the A's for some reason. Because he's a basic bitch, that's why. No. I mean, maybe. Maybe he is. Maybe he really likes cheesesteaks. Were cheesesteaks invented in the 1940s? I feel like they were. I feel like cheesesteaks are a universal constant. I mean, it's cheese and it's steak. I don't know what else you would want in a meal. Put some mushrooms on it. A nice bun. I was actually in Philadelphia, very briefly, for a layover on my way out for a work training in Vermont. And I had the most revolting cheesesteak I've ever had in my life. I was really disappointed by it in the airport. It's called like Chickies or something like that. Phil's and Chickies or something. Anyways, the cheese is awful. It was like wallpaper paste, basically. I don't recommend it. Which is disappointing because I love cheesesteaks. They're among my favorite foods of all time. And yet, I was betrayed by the city that apparently invented it. Disappointing. Disappointing. The whole thing with Ted Williams Frozen Out was just fucking weird, like, from start to finish. Like, if you weren't alive when all that was happening, you wouldn't, like, understand it. But I remember how upset my dad got about it, because my dad was, my dad never saw Ted Williams play, I don't think. At least he did when he was, like, a very small child. Um, but he'd always talk a lot about Ted Williams and how much he liked him. Him and Mickey Mantle. Excuse me. Him and Mickey Mantle were his, I guess, his two favorites as a kid. My dad was born the year after the Guardians won the World Series. No, the year before the Guardians won the World Series. It was like basically like a baby when they won. So he lived his entire life without seeing him win the World Series. They went to three more after that. They went to the World Series in 54, 95, 97, and 2016. I'm just saying. I'm just going to throw it out there. If Cleveland wins the World Series in 2016, I bet there's no COVID. I'm just saying. You can't prove it's not. It wouldn't have been the case. You can't prove that. At least casually acquired MVP. Sure. Like, hey, give me your best player right now for free. It's like, fuck yeah. How could I not do that? My bench coach appears to have retired. Or maybe his contract ran out. I just wasn't paying attention. That's also possible. Let's break down the season. Did anything go exceptionally well this year? I think Whitey Lockman found another gear. And it's literally in time because he's like, oh, home runs. I know what those are. Like, that's almost the exact difference between 1948 and 1947 Whitey Lockman. Was what if I hit more balls out of the yard? He's also healthy the whole year, so he was truly special. Vern Stevens was a fucking trooper. He played really well at shortstop, okay at third base. Yeah. Pat Mullen, maybe not perfect, but really good. I think he proved to be a quality player, that's for sure. But then you'll notice how quickly everything dropped off after that. We had Stan Spence, I think, has stopped being able to play center field. Oh my lord, yes. He was worth 4 wins if he played literally anywhere but center field. He cannot handle center field anymore. That is very disappointing. His defense fucking wrecked his shit. Carl Sawatsky, not his best rookie year. Maybe he'll be better next year, but also maybe not. Vic Wirtz, this is all there is. I'm very sad because I still think he's got another year he just needs to unlock. Maybe. Probably when he plays for the fucking Philadelphia A's. And betrays me like Sid Gordon. Like, here's the rule, guys. When I trade you, you're supposed to be utter shit after that. But back-to-back years, fucking Sid Gordon is like, I'm the best player in the league, and I just look like a fucking putz for trading him. What did I get for trading him? I got Howie Paulette, who at least has been pretty solid, so I'm not too upset, but I'm still pretty pissed that he turned into being the kind of hitter we could desperately use in this lineup. Let's take a moment to acknowledge Johnny Pesky is worth almost 3 wins. But yeah, we had no secondary scoring this year. This all came from the top. And hopefully, shipping Stan Spence to a corner outfield spot and finding somebody else to play center field will help revitalize his career too. But he was bad in center field. Like, he really hurt the team. How was the pitching staff? I mean, Johnny Same was amazing. Dizzy Trout, Preacher Rowe, and Howie Paulette were all pretty solid. None of my pitchers were actually bad. Johnny Antonelli was rough, but everyone else was good to great. Mel Parnell wasn't special the way he should have been, but I think he just maybe needs some growing pains. And he'll be a great starter too. But I don't think I like our chances. I just don't see where we're going to find the kind of players that we need to make a big change. I mean, maybe a new bench coach will make a difference, but I don't think so. Friends, that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.